Hey guys, in this video series I'll be teaching you on how to draw these drawings in Autocad. Alright, I hope it might be a simple video tutorial, and also I'll be using most commonly each and every tools that I'm having here, which will be a bit conceptual. I try to keep it as simple as it is. Alright, so let's start. The PDF to this asset will be there in the description, or if there's not there in the description, you can just pause the video, redraw this, or take a screenshot of this asset and start to draw. These first figures I have explained in the previous video, so right now until to this point I'm not explaining anything as already been explained before. Why do you want to waste YouTube's hard disk space? Alright, with this figure, let's start. Alright, okay, before starting, if you might think, alright, the first thing that I'm gonna tell you is, if you have an image right here and if you are going to trace from an image, it might be hard for you to switch between apps. Okay, Alt Tab, okay, draw, Alt Tab, zoom, draw. Okay, first I'll tell you to link this image right into AutoCAD. For this, okay, this is the image that I'm going to link. I'm gonna close this image app. Right, the simple thing is you can drag the image and drop it in AutoCAD. Okay, click the first point and it will ask you to scale. Okay, then they will ask you to rotate. You can type 0 degree for rotation. Alright, that is your image here. Okay, sometimes you might be happening to see your image vanishing away when you are panning. Why you're not vanishing? Oh yeah, you can see that the image disappeared temporarily when you're panning. In order to avoid that, get into options first, then you have to enable this right here, zoom in, pan, raster with overlay. Okay, so this will never go off when you are panning or zooming. Alright, that is the first case. Okay, then if you're trying to draw the image right here, and it might take a little bit of effort for you to zoom here, pan, zoom back, draw, zoom here, pan, zoom back and draw. Alright, what's the difference between that and Alt Tab to switch your app? Alright, I'll tell you one more way that you can concise your image right into a particular part of a screen. For that, you can type, or you can make use of the command viewports. Get into viewports, and I like to switch my screen vertically into both. Okay, so you got your screen, and by getting right into the middle, you'll get a double size arrow and just move right. Alright, this is the image that I'm about to draw, and you know, both are right in the same work. So if you try to draw one thing right here, that will update in the other screen. Okay, but we don't want to do that, so I'll move away, very far away from the diagram, and I'll start to draw. Okay, let's try to draw this. This is actually splitting your screen right into half, or not half, or 3/4 in this case. Okay, anyways, I got a lot of people looking at me right now. We got 3 Bumble June bees right there. Okay, anyways, let's start. Alright, this is the figure, and right now the question, we don't want to have this, and we don't want to have this, so I'll be turning off these things. Okay, cube can go away. Okay, you know, in my drawings I will stay here, microphone. In my drawing I'll try to use dynamic input as far as I can. I love to work with that. Alright, so first thing, the figure in the question that they had given, that they complete the figure, and they have asked to use the polar increment angle of 80 degree. Alright, so getting to drafting settings. Right now in here, I like to turn on the polar tracking, or you can make use of F10, and the angle is given that it is 80 degree. Okay, so the length of the line is 50. Shut up. Right now, let's draw this. The length of the line is 50, as you can see that right from there. Now what we want to do here is, you can turn your mouse around until that hit 80 degree. Okay, and when it hit 80 degree, you can type the length of the line, that is again 50. Okay, once again, move your mouse around until that hit 80 degree. You're not caring what is happening in the angle, what is given here. You can see the angle is 160, but you have to take care on something that is showed here, which is relative polar. Can you say this? You have to really take care on what's happening here. Okay, this is relative polar, and you're not supposed to take care on this angle. Okay, so that's a simple thing that you would like to care. Alright, so type the length, which is 80. Again, rotate it. That is 80. 50 is the length of the line. 80. 50 is the length of the line. 50. 50. 50. Finally, that will close. Alright, this is the first case. Now let's see the second case here. Alright, they have asked us to use grid and snap for completing this grill design. Alright, so the simple thing is we have to use snap and grid for this. Okay, I'll tell you that. Probably the first case that we will want to do here is, in this case, you have to really take care on this options right here. I don't want to have the polar tracking anymore. So the snap and grid options are here. So there are only two things to really take care on. The first is spacing of grid, and second is spacing of snap. Okay, probably right now in this question they will be providing all the spacing between the grids right here. So we don't want to bother the spacing between grids. Whatever given in this dimension can be typed in right there. But the case is entirely different for the snap asset. So the first case, we can say that the spacing is given as 10 here, so 10 is okay. And now to find out the spacing of snap, first I would like to enable it. Now to find out the spacing of snap, you have to really take care that if the points are right on to the intersection between grids, you want to pick this as 10. That's it. That's a simple logic. I'll tell you once again. Okay, I've tried to do this with my snipping sheet. Alright, right now so you can see that the spacing is 10 here, and all this spacing between each and every dots which I have provided here is 10. Okay. Alright. Sometimes, as you can see, sometimes you might happen to see a point or a line passing through this point, okay, which is the spacing is 10 and the spacing is 10. Okay, the grid is right now with the spacing of 10, but the snap, if you're providing 10, you might not be able to draw something right in between. So I might want to give the spacing of snap as 5 in this particular case. If not, I might not be able to draw anything right here. Okay, the simple logic is that. Right now in this case there is nothing crossing in between, so I don't have to fear anything. So the spacing of 10 is provided, and the next thing is I like to turn on the grid, and I would like to turn on the grid again. Okay, snap and grid. Alright, now the first thing is we are having a lot of boxes and crosses. So once if you got the point, you can draw all the boxes right here. First you have to count how many boxes is going to top.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 boxes are here. This is 5 and this is 5. How do you got it as 5? Right now in this case this is 5, so you can't put it as 10. Really doesn't matter. Okay, again you put up line, first point to second point. You can copy, but copying is illegal. How much? Anyways, you got the point. You can count it however it's going to write. Now next thing is the line is crossing, so simple, you can click right at these 2 points here, right at these 2 points here, first point, second point, and again first point, second point, first point, second point. Alright, that's the only one thing that we would like to care on, so that is over. Okay, now let's see the second case here. Well, the spacing of grid is given as 13. Okay, so get into drafting settings and I like to turn this into 13. Okay, next what? I like to decrease the brightness of my monitor, it's very bright. Okay, now let's see what's happening on the other side. Right now, as if this information is given, the radius is 3. Right now I'm gonna provide it as 1. Let me see whether I'm wrong. The simple thing, what's happening here? Wait, let me pick it as 13 itself. Pick up the line, first point to, you can count how much is going to top, as I'm lazy to count. You know, there is no problem in drawing these lines here. I'll tell you on drawing these kind of circles right here. Okay, the diameter or the radius is given as 3. Okay, you can pick up the circle. Alright, now I'm gonna ask you to go to 2 points here. First point, show up the direction and pick up the diameter is 6. Same case to the other side, 2 point, pick up the first point and give the diameter as 6. Alright, there is one more circle here which comes to be a product of TTR, tan, and radius. For that, I like to disable the snap circle. You can go for 2 point. You know, if you turn on snap, you might not be able to pick up any of the point on the circumference. That's why I turned it off. First point, second point, and the radius comes to be 3. Okay, that's how you'll be drawing these circles. And the same case that you can apply to draw the circle right on top of here. So there is no much more seen right in this example. That's over. Now comes the most difficult part. Kind of a difficult part, but actually that's not difficult. Observe that the length of the line or the spacing between the grid is 10. Okay, the first thing that you get into drafting settings and turn it up to 10, just only the grid spacing. We are unaware of what's happening in the case of snap. Alright, so let's see or let's observe what's happening in the case of snap. Alright, the grid spacing is given to be 10, that is right here. Okay, so this point is 10, this height is 10, this height is also 10, this height is also 10. Let me change color, it can be like black. Okay, so if you forecast it, this height will also be 10. But you know, unfortunately there is a point right in between. There's a snappable point right in between, so I have to give the spacing of snap exactly half of 10. Okay, if not, I might not be able to pick any point in between. Okay, I can't pick this point here, so that's why I'm gonna give the snap spacing to be 5. Okay, so that's over. Now let's try to draw this. First I'll be drawing this line here, so take off the line, turn on the snap. Okay, probably I have no space here. Okay, anyways, what's that? Drafting settings, this have to be 5 and this have to be 10. Alright, now it's okay. I'll pick up the first point. Okay, the line is 10, or line is 10. Now we are having an arc which is passing like this. So that arc can be drawn by making itself start in direction, start, end direction. That's over. Now we are having the next arc will be something like this. You can make use of the same example. We can have start in direction, start end is somewhere over here, and you can pick up the direction here. So that arc is over. Okay, now we are having another arc which is right exactly at the center of this point. Okay, so I'll recommend you to draw that by using 3 points. First point is here, and by eyeballing, the second point will be somewhere over here, and third point will be somewhere over here. Okay, that is simple eyeballing. I never used any algorithm to draw these figures. It's quite simple. Now let's see, there is one more arc here, and you can see that arc starts from pick up a different color. I don't have any color sense. This is the first point and this is the second point of that particular arc. If you count to left, this can be first box, this can be second box. Okay, in order to reach that particular arc, you have to move 2 boxes to left, and to top I can move 1, 2 box and 2.5 box. Okay, right, so take up the arc. I prefer start in direction, start, move 2.5 boxes to up and 2 boxes to left, and pick up this point. Okay, that might be touching, probably not, as this is you know, the center of arc is right over here, so there's no chance of touching it, and center of the other arc is right over here. Okay, if that was a collinear, might have touched, but that's not the case right here. Now there's a small arc right here which can also be manipulated by making use of start and direction. A start, the end is right here and direction is right here. Alright, now you can repeat the same steps to right, or you can, you know, mirror. Okay, and again you can mirror. Probably I think this will be the part, and that's it. I don't recommend you to mirror it. You have to practice it. Okay, but you know, I have practiced it a lot, so I don't want to draw. Now let's see, there is an ellipse right here. It can be drawn by making use of axis endpoint, as the endpoint of axis is right away in these points, first point, second point and third point. That is quite so simple. You don't want to draw this intermediate line, as this is showing up your grid system. So well, that is the case.